Hello once again to all of you beautiful people. Back at it again with another episode of the Fantasy Simpletons, a fantasy football show. I am your host, Kyle Frithen. Join with me, as always, my brother and co-host, who has told me to refer to him for this episode as Mr. Jim Nutrin, Jake Fridland.
Yep. You know.
What up, Mr. Nutrin?
What up, bro?
It's a perfect day today. A great day for some football. Every week we always talk about football being back. Well, now it's like actually coming back. We're in the final few days before the first game of the season. Most people might have already done their fantasy drafts by now. By the time this comes out, it's going to be past Labor Day. We got some exciting stuff. Today, in particular, we have wide receiver rankings.
Yeah.
Last week, we did our top 25 running back rankings, and now today we are doing our top 30 wide receivers in the National Football League for this fantasy football season. Jake, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We are going to start off in the same way that we did before. We're going from 30 all the way down to number 1. Me and Jake both made our own separate top 30 lists that we have combined and conjointed into one giant, messy top 30 list. So it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot to talk about. We're going to start us off here, 30 through 26. We have Jalen Waddle, Emeka Egbuka, Jameson Williams, Ricky Pearsall, Calvin Ridley. Jake, who do you want to talk about first? Who stands out the most in this lineup right now?
I mean, honestly, there's some nice names here. There's a lot of potential for breakout seasons for some of these guys, I think. I have lately been pretty high on Ricky Pearsall, but mainly for the start of the season, just to kind of see how he does for the team that really needs him to step up.
Yeah.
On the 49ers. So yeah, I like Ricky Pearsall. Obviously you guys know late round first round draft capital. So dude just has a lot of talent, really good hands, and he was shot last year, which obviously made him
that's a good excuse to not show up to work.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just kind of a sleeper, I think, and someone that can really step up and take the reins of wide receiver 1 on the team. So I like him. I like him as a like higher bench wideout, even a flex.
You can get him anywhere right now in like the 7th, 8th, 9th round of your leagues if you haven't drafted already.
Yeah, so he could be good. Just really competing with Juwan Jennings to start, and then obviously Brandon Ayuk is going to be coming back later in the season.
Yeah.
But right now it's just really him and Juwan kind of sharing targets. So we'll see how the season goes with him, but I'm kind of excited.
If I could add, the situation that he's in and the situation that Emeka Egbuka's in, I think are very similar. They're both first round talent wide receivers that are being given a spotlight due to injuries that have happened on their own receiving cores. They're going to be lined up as some of the top 2 targets on their team early in the season. But I think where they're placed right now is good for expectations wise, only because, for Egbuka, after Chris Godwin comes back from injury, after Jalen McMillan comes back from injury, we'll see how much he's established himself in that group and how many targets he's able to get in a crowded receiver backfield.
Yes.
Same with Ricky Pearsall when Juwan Jennings comes back, when Brandon Ayuk comes back.
Right. Yeah, where will they stand later in the season? Like now's the time for them to prove themselves so that their usage becomes stable, you know, and the team, wants to use them more, wants to keep them with the first team and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
now is the time for sure for these guys.
I
Um,
think I think there's an elephant in the room with these five. I think you know what it is, Jake.
Calvin Ridley, Jalen Waddle,
No, no, no.
Jameson.
Hitting all the way at the end of the list here is Jalen Waddle.
Hmm. I
Now,
said that.
I'm not a well, I
Anyways,
didn't hear that.
it's all good.
Silly, silly me. At the end of the list is Jalen Waddle, and I want to hear sort of your reasoning on his addition to the list because me personally, I'm not a huge Jalen Waddle guy. I haven't
Yeah.
been for a while. But tell me why you think he should be on this list.
Well, I just think that um, I think we could see a in incline, uh, decreased production with Tyreek Hill. Personally, you know,
Hmm.
I see Jalen Waddle on the rise just because I think they might want to start using him more, for him to slot into that wide receiver one position when Tyreek leaves. So that's kind of why I'm a little bit higher on him. I think he has great talent. Um, the only thing that makes him a little bit farther down from me, is his injury history. The fact that
Yeah.
he just seems like before almost every game he's struggling with like a low tier calf injury or something like that like is makes him iffy for playing the game, but he usually always seems to play. Um, so I don't know. I just see his usage going up a bit more, especially um with Johnny Smith leaving. I think
Yeah.
that it's going to be more of a wide receiver heavy, um, offense like it was a couple years back. So
I
that's
mean, I could see it. I could see it. There's definitely more opportunity now. Jonnu Smith played a huge
mhm,
part in the second half of last season. With him gone, those targets have to go somewhere.
yeah,
And with Tyreek Hill, we'll get to him a little later on the list, but Tyreek Hill feels like a ticking time bomb. We don't really know what he's going to be this season until we
yeah.
actually see it.
Hmm.
I could see a world where they lean on Waddle more and he gets into this position or maybe even a little further. But for me personally, I've just seen this guy year after year. He just feels like he's a little less each time since Tyreek Hill joined the team.
Hmm.
In 2023, he was ranked number 34 in PPR. In 2024, was ranked number 46. It just feels like a guy that's just slowly moving his way down. But there are Jalen Waddle truthers out there. You're one of them. There are a lot of other people that are high on Jalen Waddle. It's not something for me. But
Yeah,
that's why this is not just my list, it's our list together.
sure. And also, I mean, I'm not necessarily high on him.
Yeah,
I see where he can step up and kind of be what he was his rookie year. Like he had a lot of potential. He was the guy his rookie year with, Tyreek. Um, and it's still them. It's now only them. Only real competition is A Chain. And
yeah.
who knows if A Chain will stay healthy. If he doesn't, hey, that's more targets for these guys. So uh, we'll see what happens, though.
With some of the other guys that you see on your screen, Jamison Williams, wide receiver 2 for the Detroit Lions, should still be good. Maybe a little inconsistent some weeks, but he's going to be a very usable wide receiver. Um, and that depends on your taste of Jamison Williams. A lot of people think he's going to be really great this season and possibly have like an even bigger breakout.
Hmm.
Me personally, and I think Jake might agree, kind of around where he was last year. Still very good, but maybe not top tier.
Yeah.
And Calvin Ridley, mostly here because there's nobody else.
Hmm.
There's nobody else on those Titans, and he can have great weeks. He can also have bad weeks. I had him last season. He made me want to pull my hair out half the time.
Yeah.
But he's gonna get the rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was shown in preseason. Like he's actively going to be asking for the ball, and he has that authority. Okay,
Yeah.
because he's a veteran. So I think he's going to be thrown to a lot, and um, yeah, who knows if any of the other wide receivers on the team will even do anything. So they're going to rely on him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but again, it's the Titans. So I just,
Elikayo Manor.
yeah.
Sleeper pick.
I think Calvin Ridley could be higher if the Titans were actually good, bro. Like
Yeah.
historically, it's just tough to bet on them. But
This is kind of where he was last season, and they were the worst team in football. So they can't get much lower.
yeah.
They they can't get much lower than where they already were.
Hmm.
Moving along here, we're going to go to 25 through 21. We have DJ Moore, Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith, Xavier Worthy, Tedero McMillan. I want to get this out of the way real quick. We have DJ Moore at number 25. I had him ranked a little higher. I had him ranked close to the top 20. And I'm going to explain my reasoning why. Now, I'm not super high on the Bears offense this year. From what I've seen in throughout practices and throughout the preseason, I'm not filled with the most hope.
Oh, really? You're not? Oh, come on.
I'm not filled with
Give
the
him a
most
chance, bro.
I'm not filled
Give
with
him a
the
chance.
most hope for this passing game. But I remember last season because I had DJ Moore. Last season was very messy. It was a very messy passing game. Yet he still produced. He was wide receiver 16 on the year. And it just got to a point where, like, if they were just doing bad in games, Caleb Williams would just throw the ball a
Mhm.
lot. And eventually he would strike and he would get big hits. And DJ Moore would have big week after big
Mhm.
week after big week. When Keenan Allen was there, he would have big weeks. This offense doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be somewhat functional, and DJ Moore is going to perform. I feel the same way about Roma Dunze, who was just short of making this list. But now that he's going into the wide receiver 2 position, I think both guys are going to be given a great chance in what is looking to be, honestly, the more we're watching it, it's probably going to be more pass heavy than run heavy, which is not what I thought it would be.
Yeah. I think this is a fair spot for him to be. Um, based off of what you were saying too, like he will have hits. Undoubtedly, he's a good player, right? And I think
Yeah.
he's their established wide receiver one, but um there are a lot of targets on the team.
Yeah.
There are a lot of guys that are like DJ Moore, Romo Dunze. Um, they drafted
Luther Burden
Luther Burton
and Colster Loveland. But
and Colton
however,
Loveland.
let's not forget, let's not pretend they didn't have a lot of weapons last season, too.
Sure.
It
No,
just
yeah,
means that the people that are at the bottom of the chain are not really going to get a lot of stuff. Like how Roma Dunze was the wide receiver 3 and he ended up barely cracking the top 50.
right, right. I think they play similar, um, similar positions,
Yeah.
and I just think there's a lot of mouths to feed, but especially with Colston Loveland, and now they didn't have a top tier tight end last year in Cole Kmet. Um,
Yeah. Some people like him.
some people do like him, but uh, compared to the yak ability that Loveland has, um, it's hard to say Loveland isn't, you know, a little higher than him, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm also not a fan of the team in general,
Yeah.
and of Caleb Williams. I just think that he's a boomer bust guy. Um, and if he can target these guys well and they run good routes, and he doesn't get sacked as much as he did last year, I think it could be good for DJ Moore
Yeah.
for sure.
What about Devonte Adams? I know he wasn't on your top 30. He was
Mhm.
number 20 for me. So we are very different thoughts on what Devonte Adams can be this season.
Yeah, I don't care about Devontae. I'll be honest, as a fantasy guy, but this may just be engraved in my mind. I am not very high on older wide receivers.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to get ingrained after so many years.
Yeah. Um, but especially guys that go from team to team like Devontae. I think he's great, and I think he should be targeted because he'll make guys miss.
He's still got it.
He's still got it
He
for
can
sure. His
still do
route
it.
running ability is still crazy.
Yeah.
I just think that it's tough when you walk onto a new team and people just expect you to be the guy that you were on your last team. That's my only thing. It's just the uncertainty with all of that, and I'm sure he will still get targets, but with how good Puka Nakua is, he's gonna eat into his target share for sure. So he's not gonna be the Devontae that has been on other teams previously. The Devontae that gets all the targets. I don't think he's gonna be that guy,
Yeah.
but he could still be, very similar to DJ Moore. He has those big games. He gets those long balls and touchdowns. So yeah.
It
What do
will
you think then?
depend. I
Yeah.
think
Why did
it's
you have him higher, I guess?
mostly because I saw him play last season. And there was a lot of like weirdness last season with him,
Mhm.
asking for a trade from the Raiders and getting that trade. And for the first few weeks on the Jets, him and Rodgers had to find their chemistry again. But when they did, last month of the season, he was a killer.
Sure.
He looked like, outside of maybe like a tiny bit of loss of speed, he looks like the same Devonte Adams.
Yeah.
So I think bringing him into this system, a system that has always wanted to have like two alpha wide receivers going at the same time, I think they're one of the teams that have the best bet of both receivers doing very, very well for fantasy.
Fair enough.
That's just me.
Yeah, I can see that. Hmm.
I see, I'm looking at a certain name, a bit of a speedy guy, big bomber Xavier Worthy, up at 22. I think we both like him quite a bit
Yeah.
this season. I like the opportunity he has.
Sure. Yeah, he's positioned very nicely to be the guy on their team. They need him,
Yeah.
with Rashee Rice out. Um, and man, I mean, he showed. If you watch the Super Bowl, that's all you need to know about this
Yeah.
guy. Like,
He was the
he's
only
just,
good thing out of that Chiefs team.
yeah, he's so obviously fast. He has the speed, the fastest 40 time, and the in can't think of what it is.
Are you thinking of his what the 40 time is or
No, uh, I'm thinking of the. Anyways, in the draft,
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
any draft, he has the highest 40 time. Okay.
Easy.
But yeah, so he's just that guy they're gonna chuck the ball down to. Okay, and he's gonna take it in. That's what he does. It's what he's always done.
Yeah.
And there's really no one to stop him from doing it.
It
So
took a while last season. It took a while. It wasn't until like late into the year. But once he got near the end of the season into the playoffs, you can see improvement from game to game to game. The team started trusting him more, getting him the ball more. And I think that everybody, the NFL is so desperate to see Chiefs' old offense. They want to see Patrick Mahomes sling it out 50 yards. They want to see a fun, exciting offense.
yeah.
And if Xavier Worthy does take that step up, it's not only that he can be very great in the absence of Rashee Rice, there's a chance he could still be great when Rashee Rice comes back. I don't think Rashee Rice is a guaranteed alpha number one if Xavier Worthy takes that next step.
hmm Oh yeah. I don't I don't know if Rasheed could take the place of I mean if Xavier could take the place of Rasheed. I think that Xavier's fast and he'll outrun guys, but Rasheed is just he's crispy. He's got them
Yeah.
crispy routes.
Mm.
He's dude, he's
Crispy.
yeah. Xavier Worthy reminds me a lot of T.Y. Hilton. Remember him on the
Yeah.
Colts?
Yeah,
How he
that
just goes out and he'll just go for the Hail Marys and like always seem to bring him in.
yeah.
That's like what Xavier does, and I think that's what they're going to continue to have him be. Um, I guess we have him down here though, just because, or at least I do, a little bit lower than some of these guys because Patrick Mahomes kind of uses his offense a lot and goes to different guys and he rushes it. So it's kind of across the board. I think he'll be utilized pretty well, but the Chiefs in this Chiefs offense, I personally just don't think he's um I personally just don't think they use any player too much, especially
Yeah.
with Travis Kelsey. I would say he's the exception.
I
But
that's true. And we do have to remember that it is still an offense that has shown in the last couple of years they spread the ball around as much as they can. So
hmm,
we'll see. But remember, even in those first few weeks of the year, Rashee Rice was getting fed the ball a lot before he got that injury.
that is true.
So we just have
That's
to
true.
wait and see.
Yeah.
As far as some of the others here, Devontae Smith, I mean, he's Devontae Smith. He has
Mhm.
been kind of the same player the last couple of years, around the top 20, 25 range. He's expected to be in the same again because nothing in the offense has really changed. Devontae Smith, everyone. Old consistent. You know what you're going to get.
Mhm.
And then Tet McMillan at number 21. Not too much to say other than we mentioned a little bit already. He's going to have more opportunities now. He is a top 10 pick at receiver. There is a great high success rate with top 10 picks, more than like a lower rate. So I think he is going to be primed to be at least a very good wide receiver 2 on your fantasy team.
Sure.
I think so. I don't
Yeah.
think it's a
I
reach.
don't I don't see why not, you know.
Yeah.
I don't see why not with how he was used in college. If he could bring the same production profile, we're looking at a top I like his position right here, but we're looking at,
Yeah.
a top 15 potential player.
Always high floor with high wide receiver draft picks.
Mhm.
And I think we should move on here to 20 through 16. We have T. Higgins, Marvin Harrison, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, and DK Metcalf. Look who's at number 18. I mentioned it earlier, he's a bit of a ticking time bomb. We don't know what he's going to be this season. Last season, there was a million different excuses. Oh, he injured his thumb. Oh, Tua was injured for half the season.
Uh, that's a good
I
excuse.
don't. It's not a great excuse. It's good for when he wasn't there and wasn't getting targeted, but when he came back,
True.
he. I think this is a fine placement for him. He was around here last year. Every game, he felt like he was fine. Like he wasn't, but he didn't feel like Tyreek.
Yeah.
So I want to see what happens this season because there's two outcomes. Either he's top 5 wide receiver again, like he used to be, and he shows he's still the old Tyreek Hill, or he takes another step back, and all of a sudden he's not the same Tyreek Hill anymore, which is very possible considering this is what, his 10th,
Yeah,
11th season in the NFL now.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man.
He's the biggest question mark in this list for me.
I think he's a little bit scary if you buy in on him, but he could pay off. He's one of those guys that if they use him to his full potential, if they use him like they did before Jonnu. All right, and I say that because Jonnu seemed to take a lot of the targets away from the wide receiver group last year. And it was interesting. It was the whole Miami organization is just kind of interesting in the way that
Yeah.
they run their setups. But yeah, last year was kind of an interesting year and an off year compared to others for guys like Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. I think this could be the resurgence year. He wants to be used more, you know. Him and Waddle were pretty disappointed last year and how the season went
Yeah.
and
Well,
their lack of targets that and a lot of things, and there were many things that could have contributed to that, but I don't know. It could pay off well, I think, if we see the same team we did a couple years ago where Tyreek was one of the best wide receivers, you know.
undoubtedly.
So it's just tough. It's tough with these older guys. It's tough with certain team dynamics.
And the vibes are weird.
The
The
vibes
vibes
are
are weird.
weird.
The way that the team
Mike
talks about
McDonald is
him,
kind of weird.
Mike McDonald's kind of weird, but I think even Mike McDonald is like, I feel like the team's slowly starting to turn on him
Hmm.
with some of the stuff you hear. Tua talks about like, made comments like, does he want to be here? And I don't know. It seems like there's like a
Right.
relationship there that's damaged after he came out and said, yeah, trade me. Second after the last game of the season ended.
Hmm.
And he's trying to take that back and be like, "Oh, I'm Tyreek Hill. Hey, it's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a bad guy. It's what I do. I get in trouble a lot,
Yeah.
but it's just I don't know. It something doesn't pass the smell test.
Hmm.
But I'll tell you who does pass the smell test. Good old Mr. 1,000-yard Mike Evans.
Woo.
Mr. 1,000 Mike
Smell
Evans.
from here, bro. Smell those
Old
touchdowns from here.
old man Evans back at it again. He's got another great shot to have another 1,000-yard season.
Jeez.
No Chris Godwin for a while. No Jalen McMillan for a while.
Yeah.
Igbuka's still there, and I'm sure Baker loves him, but not as much as he loves Mike Evans.
Yeah. I feel like Mike is always one of those underrated guys going into the season.
Yeah.
Like dude, his production profile is just so consistent. It's kind of crazy. He just doesn't seem to have down seasons. So I think as old as he is, it's not a bad buy-in because
Not at all.
he's still got it. He's got the longest arms in the game. I feel like I always talk about that when we bring up Mike Evans, but he's got long arms, man, and it just means that he catches everything. And yeah, this year especially with all the injuries, you know, he's coming in as the guy for Baker. Okay. there's some exciting names out there with, well, really just you know,
I mean, yeah, on the Bucks, you got
on the
plenty of
Bucks.
them.
Yeah, plenty of them. One being Emeka Mbuka, but I don't know. He's just a guy that's always going to do something. So I think this could even be low for his projections this
It could
year.
be.
But
He'll
I
have
don't
more. He'll
really
have
see
more
him
competition
falling.
than he's ever had.
Sure.
Sorry for cutting you off there.
No, you're good.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing will bring
Yeah.
me more joy than every now and then I watch that clip of him getting the 1,000 yards last season
Mm,
on that like final Bucks play of the regular season, and the
yeah.
crowd's going nuts and the whole team celebrating with him. They were willing to possibly damage the whole game. They're willing to have something totally catastrophic happen in that game just to get him his 1,000 yards. The team loves him. Baker loves him. He'll get
Yeah.
it again.
He'll get it for
He'll
sure.
get it.
He's
Even if
good.
he
He's a
gets
good
injured, he'll
buy-in.
find a way.
Yep. So love a good Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Hopefully I think he's one of those guys that's going to go out with a bang, man. I don't know. He's like 30 something years old and he's going to just keep going until he's done. And he's been with the Bucks his whole career.
Yeah.
So
And
it's just fun to watch.
we'll just see how it goes.
But yeah.
DK being on this list at number 16. We all have our thoughts on DK. Here's my quick assumption. He's going to get 1 billion targets. Aaron Rodgers, that's what he does. He gives his top receiver 1 billion targets. That's all he goes for. So this is possibly DK's best chance at getting back to his old form simply from a volume standpoint. Whether you believe in him as like a consistent receiver or not, I don't know how much that matters at this point in this season with this quarterback.
Yeah. I agree. And it's one of those situations where he's just kind of the only guy too,
Yeah.
like established guy that they know can produce. Everyone else they're just kind of taking a chance on, like Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin. They've talked about how they really want to use DK. Aaron Rodgers has shown in the past that he just zeroes in on the guys he likes. And I think it just goes to show that DK is going to probably have a pretty nice season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a really interesting team to watch, I think, this year. See how they do. They're just
Interesting.
there's so much different so many different things about their offense this year that from a fantasy perspective, it should be interesting.
It could be interesting. I wouldn't say fun.
Maybe not fun.
I think there's a chance they could be. There's a chance this could be like similar to Aaron Rodgers with the Jets, but we'll just see.
That's true. Yeah, for sure.
I see Marvin Harrison here at number 19. Ooh, conflicting thoughts on Harrison. I don't know how big of a jump he's actually going to have in year 2. I don't know.
Yeah, but okay. I'm higher on Harrison. I had him a little bit higher, I think,
You
on
did.
my list. Mm-hmm.
You had him in your top 15.
I did, yes. And my reasoning is simply because of his draft capital and, I guess who they drafted him to be. Okay. Yeah, I know we always talk about how he put on some weight this offseason, as pretty much every single sophomore does going in the NFL.
As every single NFL player does to garner hype. It's like, yeah, I put on some muscle.
Yeah. But honestly, I mean, he was a pretty lanky guy last year. So I think that I think that they have this idea for who they want him to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who they drafted him to be. Um, and I just see him taking a step up. Okay. I don't see him taking a step down. I'll tell you that much. And they didn't use him that much last year, surprisingly. So, plus it's really just him um and their tight end,
Yeah.
right? It's
It
him
is
and Trey
just,
McBride. So
yeah.
I think he'll be the guy if if they utilize him. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
And
just
maybe
what I
that's just my hesitation is because I feel so strongly in Trey McBride as a number
think.
one that maybe in my mind it caps a ceiling on Marvin Harrison and how good he can be. But
Sure.
yeah, that's just me though. There are a lot of reasons why you should expect a jump from where he was last season. I still expect that too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We also have T. Higgins on the board. T. Higgins is similar to Devontae Smith. He's T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get hurt like he always does, but he'll find his way back on the field. And when he plays, he's generally great, like a great wide receiver option.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's on a great team, great quarterback. I mean, it's to be expected, I think.
absolutely. I
Mhm.
think we should speed this up just a tiny bit here. Let's move on to 15 through 11. We got Terry McLaurin, Garrett Wilson, Cortland Sutton, A.J. Brown, Lad McConkey. Jake, I want to talk about A.J. Brown.
Mhm.
There's a big difference between you and me on A.J. Brown. You're high on him this season. I'm not as high on him. I but Mr. Inner Excellence, maybe he could have a great season again. One that rivals his previous seasons. Jake, why are you more high on him than say what he did last season?
Um, am I higher on him than what he did last season?
Last season he wasn't super great. At least the way he ended,
Yeah.
he
Okay.
was number 17, number 18 on the year.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it just comes with the team. Okay.
Yeah.
To me, it's a stellar team and he's a stellar player. So I just always feel like his production is going to be someone elite. And the only thing that really holds him back is injuries, I think. Um, and aside from his mental state that he was struggling with a little bit, but I think he's past that. He's obviously
Hopefully.
past that. And I know, was it at the start of last season? He was struggling a little bit, right?
He was struggling a little bit. That's when he pulled out the Inner Excellence
Yeah.
book. I don't know if it was him struggling with himself or him struggling with what his role in the offense was becoming, which
Mhm.
was on a super run heavy first team.
Sure. Was Saquon, yeah. And that makes sense. Um, and I could see him in this spot because of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the presence of how elite Saquon is. But I just see him getting those targets, um, and kind of just being a consistent wide receiver on a great team. Um, I just feel like it's hard not to be a little high on him given his track record. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just it.
I think he's a situation based player. I think if they still run it, it's going to be hard to imagine them running the ball as hard as they did last year. They were one of the top rushing teams you'll find in probably any year, not just Saquon, the entire team with Jalen, with everything going on around them. They weren't a high passing offense.
Mhm.
So we'll have to see. And maybe people catch on to that more this season and they have to adjust.
That's true.
But other than that, we can see some of these other options here. Cortland Sutton, we don't need to talk too much about. We've talked about him
Yeah,
a bit before.
we're
One of
very
your
high on
ride or
him.
dies.
Yeah,
He's going to be great.
he's just gonna be great. Yeah, he's just gonna be fun to watch. He should be good with Bo Nix. So yeah.
At a great value, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to, very quickly, we'll talk about Garrett Wilson here. Similar spot to DK Metcalf. Whether how much you believe in the talent, I don't think it matters as much. He's the only receiver there. Literally the only receiver. Look it up. I'm serious. He's the only receiver on this team. He's going to get 150, 60 targets again and end up in this position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, enough said. I
Yeah.
agree.
Even Ladd. I'm still high on Ladd. Even with Keenan Allen there, I'm still high on Ladd. I don't care. I want
Yeah,
him to be good.
dude, he's one of those guys that I feel like is only gonna increase every year. Well, at least
Yeah.
where he has been. It seemed like every game he played last year, more and more, they started using him, and more he just showed what he could do. Um, and he's just like given his size and everything, he's just so underrated. You know, he's so much like an Adam Thielen, Cooper Cup guy that it's you want to cheer for him, and he's just really consistent, really really good for the team,
Yeah.
especially this team that needs a consistent guy that will actually do something for Justin Herbert. So,
We'll see this season how high his ceiling can be.
mm-hmm.
And then Terry's going to be probably as good as he was last season. Expect a slight touchdown regression. Maybe he'll still get double digits, but it will definitely be a little lower. So number 15, solid spot for him.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, top 10. We're going to move it along here. We got Jackson Smith and Jigba, Drake London, Brian Thomas, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Malik Neighbors at number 6, who barely ended up being number 6 through he was essentially a part of a three-way tie. So he's really could be number 5 or 4. Anyone you want to talk about first, Jake?
Oof. Bro, this is a spicy lineup right here, bro.
I like this. I like
Spicy.
this. I like it.
I mean, all of these guys are top tier this year, man. Obviously, they're in the top 10. But I don't know. I think an obvious one to talk about is Brian Thomas Jr. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically the wide receiver rookie of the year last year, fantasy wise, kind of popped the heck off. And
Won
I
me
don't
a
know.
league.
I only see his chemistry with Trevor Lawrence growing. So I think that rightfully so, everyone should be high on this guy. He's going to be great. And even with the inclusion of Travis Hunter on the team, I think he's going to be their go-to guy. Okay. They don't have Christian Kirk anymore.
Yeah.
All right. They're going to Brian Thomas. And, that's all you need to know.
I think the only thing that kept him off, I would have considered him top 5 this year. The only thing that would have kept it off was the fact how he had his best production when Trevor Lawrence was gone. Because when Trevor Lawrence was there, it felt like Trevor Lawrence was hesitant to just make him the true alpha.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see as this season goes along, because honestly, he shouldn't have a choice. He's that good.
Oh, sure. No, exactly. Yeah. I think Trevor Lawrence is a guy that passes it kind of around, but I agree. I think he should be looked at as that guy, and we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Drake London passes the sniff test for being here. He was number 10 last season, so him being around this spot to number 9 is pretty much expected, especially with Michael Penix there, who targeted him a lot in the few games he played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be fun to watch for sure.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm a little surprised that it ended up at number 7. Usually he's kind of top 5, but make no mistake, he'll still be super consistent, super viable, definitely worth a first round pick.
Yes, 100%.
Jackson Smith and Jigba. Ooh, I want to see how good he can be this season.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be with this new change and him now being the number one. I want to see how it affects him, how it changes him. So you had him slightly higher. I had him like number 13,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of put him around number 10.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways it could go, but I don't see him not being the most consistent wide receiver.
Yeah.
It's yet to be shown what Cooper Kupp's usage will look like. So we do have to weigh that. But just going off of how much Jackson has improved each season, I think, and with DK leaving, his trajectory for me is high. Okay. And
Yeah.
if Sam Darnold could produce like he did last year in Minnesota, I think, you know, they could be a really great duo.
Absolutely.
But it is kind of one of those you have to wait and see. I'm not saying anything will or won't happen just yet, but I see I see
Yeah.
I see it just being well, especially as a Seahawks fan. I think that's in the back of my mind, um, that he's gonna be up there, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And then rounding it out, we have Malik Neighbors. You had him ranked number 4 on your list. I think I had him ranked number 7. The only thing that keeps him from me from being like at the top cream of the crop is that he doesn't have a quarterback situation figured out yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing, because he's a beast. He's got all the talent. He's got all the play. He just, when all these guys have their great quarterbacks, he's got Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing, personally, and that's what led him here. But he's practically on the same level as the guys at number 5 and number 4.
Oh yeah. I would agree.
Yeah.
He's just kind of an elite wide receiver, and we should treat him that way, and especially on the team that he's in.
Well,
Yeah.
let's end this off with some elite wide receivers. Number 5, Puka Nacua. Number 4, Nico Collins. Number 3, Justin Jefferson. 2, CeeDee Lamb. And number 1, Jamar Chase. The top 3 is exactly what you would expect it to be. And it's the same way in every single draft. Jamar Chase had the best season last year. CeeDee Lamb was the best wide receiver 2 years ago in a much better situation with George Pickens now there. And Justin Jefferson is Justin Jefferson, who just might be the best all-round wide receiver in the league.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. I don't think there's too much we could add on those guys.
No. I mean, these are the best of the best this year. Okay. And our projections with these guys weren't very far off of really the standard projection. So I think that I would actually be surprised if things changed with any one of these guys. So yeah, I mean, obviously these are the guys. If you haven't drafted, you want to draft. It's pretty obvious. Okay,
it's pretty obvious. If you were in the top 5 or 6 of your draft, you probably got one of these 3.
Yeah, at this point, I think most people should know these top 5 players, at least the top 3, 4. So, yeah, nothing surprising about here, or about these guys.
And then at the end, we have Puka Nacua and Nico Collins. I'm super high on Nico Collins this year. I had him last year. He's so good. He really took a next level step up. So I see him actually being here in the top 5. And I wish I was in a spot to draft him in any of my leagues, but I just got stuck at picks 6 and 7 for every draft I was in.
So I know. I haven't been able to draft them either. I've been number 2 Actually, almost everyone, every one of my drafts actually, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, uh, dude, they're so great. Where they are, and I I think the wide receivers are so stacked, man, this year. Like you really can't go wrong with any one of these guys.
Yeah.
Um, and I could see, I don't know,
Any one of them could be the number one
any one
receiver
of them
this
could be the
season.
number one. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
But that is going to do it. Clocking in at an hour 01. Hey,
let's
we
go.
did top 30 receivers. We did the gist. We had a lot to get through, but thank you if you stuck around for it. You can follow us on Instagram, on X, TikTok. You can listen to us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Jake, anything you want to say before we go off here?
I have a draft coming up in about 10 minutes.
In about 10 minutes.
So I'm just kind of mentally preparing for that. But no, just appreciate you guys. Anyone who tuned in, and just get hyped for this season.
Yeah,
Fantasy season. It's gonna be so fun. Football. Um, and yeah, engage in the comments. We would love to hear anybody
absolutely.
say anything, and we'll
Tell us
respond.
tell us wide receivers you like in this draft, or tell us wide receivers that
Definitely.
you drafted that we
Yeah.
didn't have on this list that you love. Or if you have any problems with our list, let us know. Constructive criticism, Lee. Not in a please don't be mean. Please. I don't
I
have the
mean,
spine for it.
either way, we'll respond back to you, and yeah. But excited for the
Absolutely.
season. Thanks y'all for tuning in.
Stay tuned. We have another video coming up later in the week, a week 1 preview of all the games. Get excited because I'm super excited about that.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for tuning in. In a world that is way too complicated, sometimes you just gotta stay simple.
Simple as that.
Good night.